Greeting, traveler.
No time for games.
The end is coming! Who am I?
Change your mind.
You require my assistance? We're gonna be rich.
No time for games.
Inferno! Require my assistance? Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
Greeting, traveler.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tavern Talk. I am Dano, and I think the innkeeper should pay his employees more.
Yeah, because I'm getting paid double this season.
Is that how that works?
Well, 0 times 2 is still 0. So.
I am joined, as always, by Dusharmo and JRJuggerLaw. Well, JRJuggerLaw starting today and then moving forward throughout the rest of the season. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Thrilled to be here.
Outstanding. Should we hop right into the standings, or should we talk some more smack about the innkeeper? Because I'm cool with both.
I was going to say either that or Dusharmo and I can kick off our inevitable smack talk towards each other since we're playing each other in Legacy tonight. But
Oh, I am so excited. I can't even begin to tell you.
you have no idea how excited we are. You can cut it with a knife.
All right, let's just hop right into the Legacy standings. How about that?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. So, top of them, I'm looking at the.
Do I
Right?
have
Maybe
the
I have the
wrong one? No, I had the right one.
Oh, do I have the wrong ones? Oh, what if they changed since I put them in the show notes?
Yeah, I got the ones from the website, so these are a little bit
Oh.
different.
So they're completely up to date then, and
Yeah.
breaking news for me then.
Yes.
Nice. Ooh.
Yeah.
So atop the Red Conference, we have Illy Dilly's Death Knights. Congratulations. And then Good Luck Albatross is right behind them. Coming back after a slight misstep after the first week. And Chaos Theory behind them. 1 through 4 in Red Conference is bonkers. What is going on there, right?
I say 1 through 5.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Dad Legend, who just decided to take the first week off and then was like, well, I guess we'll play the second week. So congratulations to them as well.
Okay, so for the record, I had no idea a match between us already took place, so wow.
And then the Gold Conference, we've got a little bit more parity there. Always Top Deck Lethal and Murgle with a pretty sizable lead for the early points, at least. Followed by Blood Bloomers, Teenage Mutant, Demon Hunters, and SPG. Anything too surprising there, you guys?
Well, some teams, I think, stepped it up this week, and some teams kind of pooped the bed a little bit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'd say in the Gold Conference, Saturday Night Pain Gang really stepped it up this last week. They got a really big win, picking it up to almost 5th place, almost in first place. And this is looking really tight in the Red Conference.
Yeah.
Everybody has a loss except 2 teams, but they were at a draw. So no one's going to have a perfect season. Someone's going to have a perfect season, but no one's going to have a perfect season. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to have
Exactly.
They're not going to have
Nobody's
one
going to
in
have won
every
every
game.
single one of their matches.
Yes. So already in week 2, we can say that. That's very unusual. Normally we still have a couple 2-0 teams like we do in Gold Conference.
Yes.
So yeah.
It's that parity. It's going to be exciting.
Also something that needs to be mentioned now, and I'm going to reach out to somebody from the board. Marty and Inzi have actually not played each other yet. Marty messed up and put his hero results in Legacy.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
They're playing Saturday, so no matches happened yet. I do know that Siege and Mike V are playing each other as we speak.
Okay.
But other than that, and then obviously Dusharmo and I play later, but that is it. No match is officially concluded yet.
So just take off 4 points from Illidan's Death Knights and 2 points from Good Luck Albatross.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's where we're at right now.
Perfect. I will do the math in my head. I won't do the math in my head.
We'll be
I'm
fine.
Gonna move on to the Rhat stats. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm down.
Well, I have these put in 2 sets. So this is the first one with the
Yeah.
and then the next one, the class win rates next.
Yeah, so to the surprise of nobody, I would say Demon Hunter, Rouge, and Warrior, the most brought. Also, really, really solid win rate for being the most brought.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's just kind of at that point, you kind of have to say, yeah, maybe those 4 are the best right now. I think maybe there might be something to said about Rogue being Paper Tiger at this point, but
Yeah.
it's hard to kind of argue against the results. And then it's kind of like pick your poison, right? Do you ban Demon Hunter and face Warrior, or do you ban Warrior and face Demon Hunter? It's fun. It's fun.
So I will just say this: this is actually the first week where I did not bring this lineup in any series, and I think it's a strong lineup still. I'm genuinely surprised by the fact that more people brought it this time around, but I kind of think it's that Rogue is being picked more as far as like it's a safe pick to some degree, as opposed to it really being the strongest lineup. I think that if you experiment a bit more with your lineups and other classes that are out there, you'll find that there can be like just as optimal, if not more optimal lineups depending on what you play. And I also feel like there aren't amazing ways to counter it, but there are definitely ways you can give yourself a bit of an edge that may cause this lineup to fall off over time.
Yeah, so that's Conquest, right? Though, so it's like it's that you're kind of rewarded by playing it safe in Conquest because you have to win with all of them, and it's really hard to like in Last Hero Standing. You can definitely manage your queue order because you either are playing the deck you just won with, or you're trying to counter the deck that just beat you. Whereas in Conquest, it really is just like kind of a crapshoot about what comes up next. And so I think people get rewarded by that kind of safe play, which I think is maybe the biggest knock against Conquest, is it does kind of reward just bringing the 4 best or perceived 4 best or something that doesn't get like blown out by one thing or another, which Rogue really doesn't, right? I mean, maybe to a certain extent by Zoo, but yeah, it's kind of hard to target Rogue with anything else. So I think it's just a safe bring. I mean, I didn't bring it, but I brought Rogue last week and I was less than impressed by it. And I do fine with it on ladder. It really was just like in this like tournament style. I didn't like the feel of it really. So I definitely feel what you're saying there.
I will say this. I think my personal prediction is that as people start to become more comfortable with lineups, people will start to bring more lineups that don't include Rogue and kind of like have a soft target strategy.
Sure.
And at which point I could easily see it fall. And really, I could just see Rogue especially being brought less for a number of reasons. I still think that Demon Hunter, Warrior, and Hunter are all very strong, but I mean, we've also been seeing plenty of people not bring some of those classes, which has been very weird to me. But I also know there's justification for it, but it's kind of hard to put into words,
Sometimes the justification is you weren't prepared, and then so you got swept 0-3, and then this week you're going to be more prepared. If I were speaking in my personal experience of not bringing it last week. So, I mean, other people could be doing it for different reasons. I just wasn't prepared to bring Demon Hunter, and I got punished for it. So, what are you going to do?
I don't know about that on the stream, guys. My notifications are going off on my computer. I'm trying to turn this stuff off, so you're going to hear a lot of pings. Not you, but the streamers.
They can enjoy it. Yeah, well, good. There you go. Enjoy, viewers. It's all the best. All right, cool. So we move on here to best classes.
Let's do
that.
The
other thing I want to say before we go on quickly. Yeah. If you're looking down at the very bottom, Demon Hunter, Mage, Warrior, 4-0.
Yeah.
I have to look at where those are played. I didn't really do any research on this part, but it might be that the mages are in the lower tiers, which kind of lends it to maybe not being quite that accurate. But in this setting, it's showing to be very strong.
I think Mage is a good bring. I think mages are just fine bring. I think we're seeing it more this week than we saw it last week. Or as I noticed that it's all over the place too. Like you'll see that at 2 seed and a 5 seed, and so I brought it the first 2 weeks. And the first week I did really, really well with it, and the second week it didn't go well. So I just tabled it this week and tried something else. But I think Mage is a real solid bring, and there's a couple different options as well between like Magey Mage and Highlander Mage. So
yeah, the only issue with Mage is it doesn't really do too well versus Demon Hunter and Hunter. Both of those classes.
Yep.
So
that's
where if you're going to be bringing Mage, banning Warrior is not the option. You probably ban Demon Hunter.
That's kind of where I got into it, and the hard part about that was, if you're banning Demon, there's some weird lineup issues there where I feel like Mage is a good class, but maybe not a good bring for this specific type of where you're banning a class because it just doesn't. Its weaknesses and its strengths don't line up with kind of the other meta decks, and so Mage can be kind of tough there depending on how things shake out. So I think Mage is risky, but I think it's good. So
I think I've noticed that from this particular meta, one of the more interesting elements has been, people kind of stuck to the whole Demon Hunter Warrior, Hunter Priest, Hunter Rogue lineup. But I think if you really think about it, a lot of these classes have pretty, I wouldn't say flexible value, but very strong value if you have a plan as far as your strategy goes. I think you'll notice something like Mage, for instance, does a lot better if you're going for a ban Demon Hunter strategy and want to keep Warrior up.
Yep.
Because you can soft target it, but you can also you're basically likely to have at least 2 matchups that, if not favored, are at least decent. I think the only thing that makes Mage a bit questionable is if somebody decides to bring both Demon Hunter and Hunter, because both of those tend to be pretty unfavored. But I've also played enough of Highlander Mage to kind of know that if you tech your deck out well enough, or if you have like enough of an early game, you generally win as the game drags on.
I think Mage comes down to more of like just the general overarch. So like it's easier to. So Demon Hunter has a lot of like is just broadly very good, but isn't like overwhelmingly good. Whereas Warrior just wrecks, right? And so it's hard target Warrior right now. Simply because like Mage is your best option, and Mage doesn't always get there, right?
No.
So
Mage and Priest.
Yeah, and so it's and then at that point, like, and Mage is not going to do good against Demon Hunter. So, and then you can't bring Demon Hunter then because you're going to leave up their Warrior, and Warrior beats Demon Hunter. So how do you counter Warrior then with Demon Hunter in your lineup? I just feel like Mage doesn't fit in the meta because of how Demon Hunter and Warrior match up. As the two kind of big dogs in the meta, and as most people are bringing them, and you have to kind of pick one or the other. Mage doesn't fit well in that because it lines up so poorly against one and so well against the other stuff. I just think it's in a weird spot, but I don't hate the bring at all. So I just think it's difficult playing a lineup. So.
It's going to be interesting to see how things develop.
This is something weird that I just thought of right now. We are all 3 seeds.
Well, I'm a 2 seed. I'm an accidental 2 seed.
Oh, you got.
I am an accidental 2 seed. So
Dano's not one of us right now.
So this is funny, right? So we brought Totina's Pizza in to be our 2 seed because that's where his PR was. And we didn't realize he had subbed for a little bit, like here and there throughout the seasons. And so like you keep your PR from when you join the league. And so he joined when he was a 5 seed, and then did well, right? And so he's our 5 seed, and I'm the 2 seed. I'm not a 2 seed, and he ain't a 5 seed. But hey, I'll take one for the team. Like I'll win now and get 2 seeds. So it worked out really well for us.
Dano's MO is about sacrificing himself for THL no matter the cost.
Sure, we'll say that. No, I love this. That stuff's fun, and I like to win when I can.
No, that's true.
Yeah, I thought I'd be a 3 seed. I'm pretty happy being a 3 seed. I feel like I fit there well. I don't know if I don't play enough to be a good 2 seed. I don't think, but I've won 1 match and lost 1 match this season, so I'm happy with that so far. So,
see, I'm dying to go back to being a 2 seed. Honestly, I really am. I mean, I was a 3 seed when I started in THL, and then for a few seasons I was in the 1 and the 2. But then then I had a few seasons where I struggled, and I just kind of settled into the 3. So it's fine, but
Well, how am I supposed to play Dusharmo if I'm not a 3 seed? Because that's like my best matchup is Dusharmo.
Yep, it is. You always beat me. You always beat me.
I put so much thought into it. You're so much better than me. All right, let's move on. We can move kind of quickly through this, I think. Demon Hunter has brought a lot and is played a lot. Hunter is the most played, right? Because very few are banning it. And then Warrior, I think, is brought by almost everybody and then banned by almost everybody as well, which is why you see the 48 game count. I may have the win rates I got, like when I colored them backwards. So oops. So but yeah, Mage not great. I was part of that since I played 3 Mage games in a row and lost all 3 of them. It's not a good decision. But yeah, I think Druid is my big surprise here with like a 12-8 record. I think that's pretty good. For
Yeah.
like a little like a not a broadly brought class. I think if you are like a really good Druid player, it's a really good time. I feel like to be bringing Druid to like THL because you don't see it on ladder, but it's pretty good.
So in this one, red is good.
It's a weird deck.
Red is good, and
Yeah, so
Green's
I was
bad
rushing,
sometimes.
right? And so yeah, so so only in the win rate column there do I have the red and the
Ah.
green flipped. So everything else, green is and red are correct except for the win rate one. I'm just keeping everyone on their toes. So but yeah,
No,
so
you're
I think that was my
You're trying to throw your opponent off for next week.
oh,
Like,
sorry,
what a
that's
minute.
all I do.
Hunter is bad, and Shaman and Warlock are good?
It's the only reason I do Tavern talk is if I can throw off my opponent. Lemons,
Honestly,
I hope you're in chat.
honestly, I wish we were talking about Pro Series because then I'd have a lot to say right now about Shaman and Paladin. Because my god, like
People are bringing Shaman and Paladin. We can talk about it later in the
well
preview,
brought
so.
it in Pro, and I'm just like Rabobson's a fantastic player, obviously, but I am still shocked he managed to win with bringing Control Shaman and Libram Paladin. Berserk brought the same thing. I am just at a loss right now.
I brought Totem Shaman first week and won with it. Did not do a second week because I know when I high rolled. Cool. Let's move on to the last week review. How about that?
Gold review 1.
I
think
like
that
it.
starts off with ATL versus
Gold
Noyo
review.
team.
Yeah, ATL versus Noyo team, which this is our beatdown of the week. So
Nice sound effect.
thank you. So in classic Noyo team fashion, not only did we lose, but we lost by also mixing up a band. So we just gotta do it in style. So
You did what you could, man. You did what you
Totino's
could.
with the sweep there in the 5. We appreciate the points, Totino's. Myself and Zethan got smoked. And then Amaze just ran into the kind of that just train that is A2 Battleship. We could talk about that match if we want later, or we talk about next week as well, because it was A2 Battleship versus another 1 seed who's been just wrecking as well. So
Adamos, yes.
Yeah. The guy who had like 1,500 Demon Hunter wins or something like that, right? Like,
yeah,
crazy.
I have so many questions for that man next time if I ever get the chance to interview him.
I know. So, Dusharmo, what do you got to say about this? Sorry.
Well, it is a big win for ATL. I mean, Noyo team, although you guys are 1-1, so you guys won your first week and a little bit of a down this week, but I think it's a good showing from ATL, showing that they have what it takes, and a lot of their team members are 2-0, and a lot of them this week, we're going to talk about it later, but they have some wins already. So they're a strong showing from ATL, and looks like they're placing themselves on top of the Gold Conference right now.
And
Totino's pizza showing so far that he probably should not be a 5 seed.
Yeah, it seems a little blasphemous, I must say, and I don't use that word mildly.
Well, can we hope he continues to show that he shouldn't be a 5 seed? So we do our best when we have like 5 seeds who should be 4 and 3 seeds.
Yeah.
We tend to do fairly well then. So
I could do a dissertation on it.
All right, so I think I said my piece. Do you have anything to add here, JR? Should we move on to the next match?
I would just say, I think it's pretty nice to see ATL coming back with a very new but very strong-looking roster, and I really hope nobody sleeps on them because they're really good.
Yeah. You got to crack the whip, Dano.
Yeah.
There it goes.
They could easily be underestimated, and I don't think that should happen because I know pretty much all these players and that they are solid in their position. So it's, don't sleep on them. That's my message for you.
Or do.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go. I got Murgle versus Defias Brotherhood next.
There we go.
All right, cool. So Buse and Alts with another solid win this week. So I do firmly believe the only real player in this entire lineup is Buse, and it's Buse and four of his Alts. So that's the only thing that makes sense. So 3-2 win, but the 2 match losses went to 5. So if you can't win, get the points right. That's exactly what they did. So I think Murgle really kind of showing very, very well here in the loss, or in the win, sorry, and even in the two losses. I think for Defias Brotherhood, both Comp and Lemons going 0-2 is probably not what you would prefer, but both Comp and Lemons are good players. Like Lemons for sure, like went undefeated last season. So I do not expect him to continue to lose. I think maybe part of the problem is he hasn't brought Shaman yet. So, which he brought every single match last season. So, 22 points is still a good place to be with your 0-2. So I don't think we can count Defias Brotherhood out at all.
Yeah.
And like I said, Lemon's probably going to bring Shaman and be just fine against me this week. So, yeah. Anything to add, guys?
Yeah, I think you covered it.
Yeah, it's Murgle also looking to be on top of the Gold Conference as well, along up there with ATL. So, two really strong teams right now. The teams to beat.
I would agree. All right, so let's move on to the Teenage Mutant Demon Hunters versus sorry, I'm gonna turn something up here. Hot Zilfs.
For the record, somebody needs to make an official like Teenage Mutant Demon Hunters theme song, or else I will riot.
I think it's just Teenage Mutant Demon Hunters.
I mean, it would work so well. My God,
right?
Moving on to the important stuff. Yes, this was a close match between the Hot Zilfs and the TMDH, as I'm going to call them. The Zilfs had a rough first week. Like, these guys are coming in with the exact same roster as last season, and they're looking just as strong as ever, but unfortunately got off to a bit of a loss. This week, though, they pulled through and got 3 wins courtesy of Coles, Anful, and Jimphalos. With Bobson and Donde being the ones to lose, honestly, really shocks me, considering how like seasoned those two are. But this team right now is looking very good. Teenage Mutant Demon Hunters had a really, really strong start last week, getting 18 points between their matches. So I wasn't expecting them to win necessarily, but I'm definitely a little surprised that they didn't have that same momentum. But Hishak and our Mum Kid definitely got some solid wins. I think it's also notable that both of all 3 players on TMDH that lost did not bring Warrior. I'm very surprised by the fact that that the Warrior's kind of falling off. But I mean, that's a discussion for another day.
Hot Zilfs too. Well, no, sorry, 4 of the 5 brought Warrior there.
Yeah, exactly. Coles obviously did bring Coles did bring Warrior, but he still had a pretty solid lineup anyway. And regardless, it's just making me a little bit curious. So either way, the bottom line is I think both of these teams are very much contenders for the playoffs, and I think we can expect more success from them down the road.
Yep. Yeah, and Rage Doppel's not going to continue to lose in the 5 there, right? So,
no.
Donde's not going to continue to lose in the 3 either. So
nope.
Let's put it this way: if you knew how Donde lost to me in Pro last week, you would understand why I'm so confident that's going to change.
We do. He won't stop talking about it.
Really? Really?
Not really. No, not really.
Okay.
He mentioned it once or twice.
I wouldn't blame him if he did, but I also would be like, wait, he told you? You teased.
Right, so Sarah Night Pain Game versus Dustubs. You want to give us the rundown here, Dusharmo?
Yeah. This is a big win from Sarah Night Pain Gang, who week 1 had a really tough week. A lot of new players on this team. A lot of players that names I haven't heard yet. But some really, really solid wins here. I know there's 1 DQ on behalf of the Sarah Night Pain Gang, but they did not need that. They would have won otherwise if they had received that DQ or not. So really, really solid showing. 3 O's across the board. And the Stubbs, who picked up a win on the first week, pick up a loss in the second week and only get 5 points. And they're at 22. And we saw, I think, ATL was at 48 points. So almost half of the points, less than half of the points that ATL has right now. And it's not that's not good when you get 5 points. That's just probably guys, you need to step it up a little bit if you're really having those playoff aspirations. I don't think Ron Mexico is going to continue to be going 0-2. He's had a rough season. He was runner-up crossover player last season. So just people have rough seasons, And same thing goes for Osmonaut. Osmonaut also having a rough season. He's a great player. He's a solid 3 seed.
Yep.
And then just looking at some of the players that stepped up in the Saturday Night Pain Gang, Ekoname picking up a 3-0 win, and Travis, our old one week host, picking up a big win and not banning a Demon Hunter or Warrior, oddly enough, and banning Hunter,
right?
still picking up the win. So
way to go.
So there
Good
we
win.
go.
And then I think a big shout out to the Big Ted, right? Just stepping it up big there in the 2 seed. I'm going 2-0 to start the season. Good player, but I mean, well done there. That's really kind of helping get some needed points there for the stubs. And we do have a shorter initial rope and then a shorter second rope as well now. So as you may have noticed.
Yep.
All right, Blood Bloomers versus Amber Flight Gaming. So I've got this one, and great win for Blood Bloomers. Atomos, like, is the real deal. Like, holy smokes! Like, watch out, THL. So, like, 3 kind of like impressive wins. 2 of them this week and last week, and then already had a big win this week actually. Beating Itachi 3-2. I don't think anybody could have expected Itachi to go down 0-2 to start the season, but here we are. If Atomos keeps this up, Sagwine, Medusas, and Silver T Fox Demon, they can just maintain the level of play that they're capable of. These are all like very capable 3, 4s, and 5s, right? Sanguine probably a borderline 2 seed actually. So I think Blood Bloomers have actually some game here this season. I think we should probably be watching out for them and kind of like an under the radar team for sure to start the season. But I think someone to start looking out for. And Amber Flight Gaming, I don't expect them to keep on losing. Atashi's going to keep on losing. Dragon Rider, she's great. She's, I guarantee you, involved in this team one way or the other. She's also fantastic. So this team will turn it around. It just hasn't happened yet, right? So anything to add, fellas?
No, I
was just going to point out that I find it funny that both Ron Mexico and Itachi are 0-2 going into this, but same thing
weird.
for both of them. I'm confident they're going to bounce back.
Remember, Bobson's 1-1, right? It's like, you know, up is down, left is right.
Well, being 1-1 after 2 weeks is like less surprising to me. So,
Or Bobson just losing is weird.
Yeah, and Blood Boomers coming back and picking up a huge win as well after having a kind of weak the first week. I mean, they had 12 points. I mean, no, they had 8 points. So yeah, so it was kind of a weak for them. But come back and pick up 21 points ish, or 20 points. This next week was really good. So.
Yep, for sure. All right, time to move on to the Red Conference. And this is our first slow clap. So the slow clap replaced something. I don't remember what it replaced. Oh, the weird clapping sound. So slow clap to Chaos Theory and Redacted. Redacted with just a massive win over the potentially unstoppable Chaos Theory after week 1. So What do you have for us, JR?
Yeah, that match. This one, I was surprised by this one, honestly, because and I say this in my notes that like I really think Redacted is a team that's easily going to get slept on, but at the same time, like they're all players who are pretty established, and they came through this week with winning by 1 point against Chaos Theory. Agent PWE, Snake Fods, and Pasca all got some very key wins. Like, when matches like these happen, it's always very exciting because you know that, on one hand, you know, you expect the team that wins 3 matches is going to win it all. But points can always tally up in a variety of ways, you know? That's why, like, every game you win matters. So here it's kind of surprising to me, I would say, that despite all but one of Redacted's wins being pretty decisive, you know, as far as 3 or, you know, 2 of them being 3-1s, one of them being a 3-2. They still only won by 1 point because Hockey Boys beat No Glocko 3-1. And how do you pronounce Soros? I've never actually tried to.
Srirachi, but I'm
Srirachi.
Srirachi beating Yeezus 3-0 meant that they still only won by 1 point. So I think this is just a big statement for being made by Redacted, and you know, just like ATL, I hope nobody sleeps on them.
Yeah, and and Agent PWE coming huge in that 2 seed is really important. and a big, huge PR difference between Icicles and Agent PWE. Although I would say that Agent PWE PR is not 379. If I had to say, he's probably
not
closer
at
to
all.
500. So,
Yes.
so kind of a benefit to Redacted there in the 2 seed, getting a really strong low PR player in Agent PWE. So.
Yeah, I played in Aspirant with Agent PWE for a couple seasons, and Agent PWE is legitimate and is definitely way better than a 379 PR. So I don't think that's anything to that's not a should be embarrassing for Isocles at all. So
No.
Yep.
all right.
Yeah,
Also,
we're going to see some switches from Redacted too. I think Snake Fods moves up to the 3, and Yeezus moves down to the 4. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and you'll probably see the 3 at the bottom there moving back and forth throughout the season, if I had to guess. Or at least, I think because all 3 of them are kind of that borderline 3 to 5, and so which is a good place to be honest. That's where another team was a couple of seasons ago, and it worked out pretty well for us. So, cool. Good luck, Albatrosses versus the Pod people. I had you host this one, Dusharmo. Do you want me to go through it, or do you want to?
No,
you want to do
you
it?
could
Sorry.
It's probably better if you do it.
Yeah. So, big win here by Good Luck Albatrosses, right? Just like stunningly huge. Beating the Pod people. No offense to Pod people, but like they're a legitimately good team, and they kind of got smoked by Good Luck Albatrosses, right? Lotus Knight, losing the hat, which is people lose the hat. It happens on the regular, and Lotus Knight is not going to continue to lose. So, if this is what happens when Good Luck Albatrosses lose in the 1 seed, like they're going to be absolutely just fine, right? And Shu in the 5 is always cheating. Like Shu Baka is not a 5 seed, and it's not fair.
The funny thing is we've been saying that since his first season.
Yeah, well, I think that he's hacking into the spreadsheets obviously after every season and knocking himself down.
No, that's just what happens when you start off with a relatively low PR and then you get off to a bit of a rough but not bad first season. So he played the system.
Yeah, and Zeroshio dropping 0-2, and the only explanation is that Zeroshio hasn't brought Paladin in 2 weeks. And I anticipate that will turn around because I think I saw a nice yellow color next to one of his classes this week. So I expect Zeroshio to turn it around. And then Dusharmo getting the monkey off his back and beating Starlax. So congratulations there, Dusharmo.
My arch nemesis Starlax. I could never beat him. I think I played him 4 times in the last 2 or 3 seasons, and I've lost every single one. And each time they're really close, but he beats me every time. He knocked me out of the tournament, the whatchamacallit, the
March Madness?
March Madness 3-2.
Mayhem.
Yep. So he knocked me out of
Starlax
that.
is so sneaky good, though. You can't sleep on Starlax.
No, you can't.
And what I loved about my match with Starlax was it was a mirror match. It was literally, even the bands or the people, everything was mirror, so.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Should we move on to our wow of the week?
Yes.
Where did that button go?
Wow.
So THL Powell last week said whoever wins between Illy Dilly's Death Knights and Dirty Mike and the Boys will be the Golden Legendary. And so to make everything interesting, they decided to draw. So these are obviously like 2 of the best teams in Red Conference, and Red Conference is this bonkers good, right? So like these 2 drawing isn't really a surprise, and these 2 are going to cause problems for the rest of Red Conference. I'm actually excited to see where Red Conference goes moving forward. It's just fantastic, right? So Catman with another huge win, who apparently has forgotten how to lose. Sir Los with the big sweep, right? So that, and then Lefty and Astral Frog with the taking it to the game 5 and getting the points there, making that draw happen. Super big for them. Even though they didn't get 3 wins, they're able to pull that draw and steal those points from Illy Dilly's Death Knights. And that's gonna be huge come playoff time. So I think this one is one we could probably talk about when we come down to like bubble season, about who's in and who's out, and if Illy Dilly maybe kind of lost
Illy Dilly
because Illy Dilly's Death Knights. Yeah, let's discuss.
Honestly, I tried to tell people call us IDK. If it's really that hard.
No, Illy Dilly's is better.
Illy Dilly's is so much more fun, right?
Okay, fine.
So anything to add there, guys, or should we move on to?
I just want to say that I was beating myself up for not getting a second game against Tony. I was really frustrated because I love the guy, but both games 3 and 4 of our match, I lost what I thought were pretty favored matchups, and it was quite a learning experience to realize, man, sometimes you really, you could really lose matchups that you think you're favored because Hearthstone has other plans for you.
Yeah, and sometimes Tony Montana just beats you because that's what Tony Montana does.
And I also like to point out Siege bringing Mage and not bringing Demon Hunter that we talked about earlier in the show. If you bring Mage, bringing Demon Hunter is probably not what you want to do. And he picking up a win versus Lefty, very strong player.
Yeah, no kidding. So nice work there. Nice work, Siege.
Unfortunately, he just lost to Mike V, so I'm coping with that right now.
Breaking news!
Ooh. But that's
he got swept, and I am sad.
But that's for the review, the preview next.
I know, but I couldn't hold it
the
back
breaking
because
news. You gotta call the breaking news.
It's getting to me.
And then later tonight, the 3-0 to you, JR, will be pretty rough as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's personal now.
All right.
I'm glad I have my camera on so everybody can see my genuine reaction to that.
All right, let's talk about Dad Legend versus Beast Mode.
For those of you that don't know, I play
Legend...
JR later. That's why I said that. I play him later tonight, right after the show.
Shit's going down, people. Shit's going down.
So Dad Legend, they took a week off, and then they came back this week and decided to be Dad Legend. What do you got for us, JR?
I don't know, man. After that, no. Honestly, like, there's just something to be said about a team that that loses its first week, gets entirely swept, and then comes back and wins, sweeping the opposing team. I can't think of a time we've ever had that. That's just insane to me. Like, it's pretty nuts.
Yeah, I would agree 100%, right? Like, it's why we kind of poked fun at Dad Legend last week, was because, like, that wasn't going to keep on happening.
Well,
yeah.
Yellow Dart whips the... Can I say it? Cracks the whip. There we go. Yellow Dart cracks the whip. And it's like, you know what? You guys are getting swept. I'm going to kick all y'all off the team if you don't all win every single match this week. And he cracked the whip, and every single one of them won. They were all afraid of Yellow Dart. Even Yellow Dart himself too. He was.
I will say two things about this though that I do really want to emphasize. One, I think that despite the outcome going into this week, I think these two teams were very evenly matched. As far as, like, I really could have seen any of these matches going either way, because you've got Yellow Dart. Bill Snyder is playing in the 2. Like, ignoring the PR differential, Bill Snyder is obviously a caliber, like a very strong player that he belongs in the 2 seed.
Oh yeah,
Zancat plays 1 seed in Hero, so I don't think anybody should be questioning, like, how powerful he must be as a 3 seed. Copper Talon started off at the 5, but he's become a more than formidable 4 seed, and 8-Bit has from what I've heard of people, is a pretty solid 5 seed, and the PR definitely reflects that. So I'm definitely surprised this played out the way it did. The only other thing I want to mention is this result changes nothing. When we face Dad Legend, I am kicking Yellow Dart's ass. Or whoever plays him is kicking his ass.
We'll keep it PG. But
sorry.
No, it's all good. But yeah, and obviously in the 1 seed, obviously is bonkers, and then got swept, right? So Beast Mode is going to be just fine, because it's a very good team. Yeah, and Dad Legend just wrecked a super good team. So I guess maybe we shouldn't have poked the bear. Maybe we should have, like, said, "Oh, it's too bad that they're good, and maybe they'll be just fine. It's got to work out the kinks." Maybe that's what we should have said, because we poked the bear, and now they decided to be good again. Which, oops.
This is just really going to show how ridiculous Red is going to be. It's going to be utter chaos. No pun intended.
Red's going to be awesome.
Last season was Pearl Harbor for Dad Legend.
Last season was nuts and gold.
Sorry, not last season. Last week. If I said last season, last week.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We woke up the beast, the sleeping beast.
Exactly right.
Now it's going to
Yeah,
devour the rest of the Red Conference.
I think the only
Glad I-
true beast on that team is Maya Nadon. Other than that, no disrespect, but I wouldn't go that far.
All right.
They're all great. Where are we going here? Oh, we got F2L Red versus the Hearthstone Academy. What have you got for us, Dusharmo?
Yeah, another match where another team picked up a win after losing the first week, and then Hearthstone Academy obviously starting off a little bit weak. Hearthstone Academy, believe it or not, is a two-time THL champion, and a lot of these players were on that team a few seasons ago. So not a team to just sleep on or to scoff at there. Something that to note on Hearthstone Academy, Sage going 0-2, and I think that's really important for Hearthstone Academy because Sage is in a position where you were in a last couple seasons ago. You're in the 5 seed. You have to win, and then the way the PRs work out, Mako with a 379 is not really that 1 seed PR. And Sage, being the strong player he is, has to start picking up wins in the 5. And there we go, 0-2, and Hearthstone Academy's 0-2. So, Baystink as well, going to 0-2 as well. But she had to play Liquid Ox last week, and that was also a difficult match. Just a strong showing from F2L, I think. I think they're good. They're a good team. I think Icon and Shiny Pants, they're not going to keep losing. They're going to pick up some wins. And I think Hearthstone Academy still, you can't sleep on them.
No. 100% not, because Sage, that was what I learned about. So my first season, I was a 5 seed with a PR of about there, a little bit higher maybe. That is pressure because when you go in with a 1 seed that's 380 and a 2 seed that's 370, right? Those are both two good players, but they're playing about 1 seed too high. Baystink's a good 2 seed, she'll be just fine. Liquid Ox is just bonkers in the 2, and I have to play in this week and it stinks. But yeah, Sage picks up those wins. It's a different start of the season for Hearthstone Academy. So you imagine they probably would have liked to go a different way for sure. And I expect Sage will pick it up. I'm not too concerned about that. So should we, anything else to add? Or should we move on to our commercial?
The only thing I want to add is realistically, outside of Mako's low-ish PR for a 1 seed, I really think if you look at the 2 through 5, they look really powerful. So I don't think we should place too much emphasis on that.
No, I think they're going to be a just fine team. I think 2 through 5, they're good. And I don't think, 2 through 5, they are good. So I don't think they're going to keep on losing, but they are dropping points, which is a bummer. So
I would say the same thing about F2L. I think it's like if they're with both of these teams, if they're 0-2s, start to gain momentum and pick up wins, they're going to be very scary.
Yep.
Simple as that.
It'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to the break. So please consider subscribing to our channel. This subscription enables the THL team to help cover the various costs of operating our website, as well as improving the quality of our streams and content to our viewers. If you have Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime, which are the same thing, you can sub to this channel for free. Kind of, you're already paying Amazon, but for free. Totally. And then subscribers will get awesome THL emoticon as well as a lovely THL chat badge. So please do subscribe. And thank you so much for tuning in to Tavern Talk. If you are enjoying our show, make sure you check out Wild Knot on Mondays, The Saloon on Tuesdays, and Hearth Center on Wednesdays, right here at twitch.tv/Team Hearth Legends. What is that? That's not enough content for you? Well, we stream THL matches on Fridays from 8 to 10, Saturdays from 8 to 10, and on Sundays as well. Sunday match scheduled to be determined by caster and player availability. No purchase necessary, void where prohibited. But wait, that is not all. We also have incredible written content available at www.teamhearthlegends.com. Surely that is everything. You must be asking yourself, well, friends, there is more. THL is also home to the best Hearthstone Discord server in this universe. So hit that heart button and keep notifications on to make sure you catch all our broadcasts live. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Very good. And what I love about this season is we have a show every single day. Every day.
It's
Monday, Tuesday,
fantastic,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
right?
Saturday, Sunday. Every day.
Oh, I forgot the podcast again.
This is why I live to be on this, man. This is why I live to be on this show.
Forgets the podcast twice in a row, and I bet you Matt was like, "Don't forget the podcast. Don't forget the podcast. Don't forget the podcast."
I am Cowbot.
This forgot.
Matt is
the
shaking his head in
podcast.
so much judgment right now. I can see it, and I can't even see his
For
face.
those who don't know, Dano was the host for the last 2 seasons of the podcast, and is this season still the producer of the podcast. So
Might be. You also could catch the incredible THL Power Rankings podcast hosted by Isocles and Matt at Arms, and produced by the Dum Dum in the red shirt right here. And it's fantastic. And these two, Isocles and Matt at Arms, do incredible work, despite me dragging them down. So definitely subscribe to that at like wherever podcasts live. The internet, I think. So THL Power Rankings podcast, we call it THL Power because it's more fun. So
go listen to it. It's great content, and you can listen to it on the go.
Yeah,
even though everybody's basically home right now.
wherever you are. I like my shirt here, Dusharmo. I forgot what that went. That's kind of cool. So move on to the Gold Conference preview. If we're all ready to go, I can let Dusharmo get the stream going here.
Someone sent me a message. Good. Someone sent me a message saying that the Hearthstone. There's Hearthstone sounds, and I was telling them that it was intentional, that it was a timer to keep us going. You know, your little roping. So hey, someone's playing Hearthstone in the background.
I wish I could do that. I can't multitask at all. No, it's our timer to keep us at least as close to an hour as possible.
The key word being close.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't go back to my DMs or my screens will mess up here. But yeah, here we go. Is it who's talking about this?
You've got it. It is always Top Deck Lethal versus the Blood Bloomers, not the Blood Boomers, like I've been calling them apparently.
I feel like the Blood Bloomers are gonna be very angry when they find out what Dano and I predicted for this week.
Yeah. Well, you could tell there's already 2 results here, and 2 huge results. ATL on top of the Gold Conference right now. Team to beat or try to beat, and Blood Boomers look like they're doing that so far. 2 big wins, a 3-2 win in the 1 seed over A2 Battleship, an amazing player, just a ridiculous player, and Adamos coming out saying, "Hey, look at me, I am the GOAT right now." 3-0, and Ator, who is 0-2, pick up his first win over Brick, another very solid player.
100%.
And Atar bring in Mage this week and not bring in Warrior. It was very, very interesting results there from these 2. But looking at what's left, we got Free Hong Kong versus Sanguine, Maddie Ebbs versus Medusas, and Shun Sui over Silver T Fox. Now, with these remaining matches, I lean that rest of these matches are in ATL's favor. However, I think Hearthstone Gods are going to give Blood Boomers one of those matches, and I think the Blood Boomers are going to win 3-2. Let me see, which one am I going to pick? I'm going to go with Medusas over Maddie Ebbs. I think Medusas will beat Maddie Ebbs, but Free Hong Kong and Shun Sui will win the 2 and the 5. But this could still go either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just say I would love... Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I would love to see Sanguine thrive, and I'd love to see her continue to do well in the 2 seed like she did last season. And I'm very happy that she's come back this season to be captain. But she's also got to deal with arguably one of the better 2 seeds who has got a lot of momentum on his side. So if she wins, great. I just wish I could say, like, with more confidence, I could see her pulling this out.
Yeah. So my picks, I got obviously Adamos and Ator in the 1 and the 3. I've got Pond beating Sanguine. Like, no offense to Sanguine, she's a fantastic player. Pond is playing really, really well right now. I got Maddie Ebbs beating Medusas and Shun Sui beating Silver T Fox. So the reverse sweep, as it were, for ATL to take the win. JR? How's your picks going?
Same predictions. I will just say, though, it's funny. If I had done the predictions before these matches had been played, I probably would have predicted ATL sweeping the whole thing. And look how that's turned out so far. So I'm not going to pretend like I'm super confident that ATL is going to win, but even in the position they're in, I think it's easier for them to accomplish than people might realize.
Oh, for the point of these predictions is to be wrong. Just don't forget that. Like, it's only fun when you're wrong. Yeah. Like, if you're right, then it's kind of weird. So
I guess we'll wait until next week and we'll see how I'm feeling then.
All right. So I got next is Murgle versus Teenage Mutant Demon Hunters.
And 30 minutes before the show, I did not get any results from this one. I don't think anyone's played yet. Let me just double check real quick. I don't think there are any. What do you call it?
Breaking news.
Breaking news. There we go.
Cool.
Breaking news.
So,
yeah, no, it's still 0-0.
So Abuse's alt dabs versus Heat Shock. Like, honestly, inject that right into my veins. Heat Shock with a spicy Warlock bring and breaking the pattern of Demon Hunter, Rogue, Warrior. I think that will kind of make or break the match. So if Zoo can hit Rogue, that's very, very good news for Heat Shock. I think I'm most interested, though, in the match between Jimmy 8 Shoes and Buse's main Buse. I think Mage is really interesting deck. We talked about that earlier. In Conquest, where the Q order matters a lot less than last hero standing, and Mage actually stacks up really nicely against Jimmy 8 Shoes' lineup with favorables against Priest and Warrior. So I think that was actually a really, really great bring there by Buse's main Buse. And then without a Warrior to ban, Buse's alt G kick is free to ban Demon Hunter, which I think is going to be the difference between otherwise really close match. So I've got Heat Shock winning in the 1, Buse in the 2, your Mum Kid in the 3, Super Murloc in the 4, and G kick in the 5 for a 3-2 win towards the Teenage Mutant Demon Hunters. Anything else to add?
I kind of agree with your assessment there. I go with 3-2 Teenage Mutant Demon Hunters. It's a very close match. I can see it going either way, and I wouldn't be surprised if Murgle wins this out and gets a solid 3-0 start of the season.
Yep, I'm with you. I think this is a really, really, really good match between two super good teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm predicting this to be more one-sided, and I'm actually giving it to Teenage Mutant Demon Hunters. I have everybody except for Rage Doppel winning their matches. Because even though I expect Rage Doppel to bounce back eventually, he's playing against a 5 seed that has no business being a 5 seed if you know his actual PR now. So I would say
471, right?
Yeah,
because Buse plays because Buse plays dabs, Buse plays dibs.
Oh, it's something dabs. Really high. I just remember G-Kick did like a free agent post, so that's how I know that. But regardless, I feel like Teenage Mutant Demon Hunters have a really good shot. But I also am admittedly speaking from not knowing much about Murgle, so maybe I'm just insane.
I know that they have my favorite names of all of THL. They win every week for me there. All right, let's move on to the Serenite Pain Gang versus the Hot Zilfs.
Yeah.
I think I got you here, JR.
I'm excited to talk about this one because so basically this is a pretty big match, I would say, for both teams. Hot Zilfs are coming back from a week where they bounced back, and Serenite Pain Gang are really looking to establish themselves, pretty strongly. Like Darkseid, both of his teams last season were definitely struggling in both Pro and in Legacy. And I know he's decided I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to bring a new team in, and I think he put himself together a pretty strong roster. So even though I am giving the slightest edge to Zilfs, I really hope that people don't sleep on the SPG, because especially looking at how they're doing now, I can see a lot more success for them going down the road.
Yeah.
Or they might pull an upset. I could see that happening too.
Do you want to give your picks real quick, and then we can pop in there?
So I have, give me one sec. So what happens when you write this stuff down? So I have Coles, Rabobson, and Donde winning the 1, 2, and 3 respectively. And then I have Darkseid and Travis winning the 4 and the 5. So I have Zilfs winning 3-2. But I also wouldn't be surprised if SPG pulls off an upset in one of those top 3. Dr. Bombed has been on a roll in general. Bloodhunter's a really strong player. We'll see.
Yeah, I've got something very similar actually. So I got Coles, Robobson, and Donde. Coles, Robobson, and Donde are great players. Coles, Robobson, and Donde are going to win a lot. It's what they do. I got Darkside winning in the 2 over Anfall. Anfall's great. Darkside's also great. And then I got Jim in the 5, actually. Jim is, I think, really getting this meta. And when Jim Philos gets some meta, he tends to do really, really well in the 5. So so I got Hot Zelfs winning 4-1.
I'm gonna say this is gonna be my third upset of the week.
Ooh.
I was like, wait, this is a thing?
Yeah, it is. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Dr. Bombed gives Coles his first loss.
Ooh, I like it.
I like that too, yeah.
That's a spicy turn there, too.
I need him to, if he does that, he better win in pro this week. If he's watching, I'm expecting nothing but greatness from him.
I think with Dr. Bombed giving Coles his first loss, I think Sarah Night Pain Gang win 3-2. I have Dr. Bomb winning, Ekoname winning, and Travis Chrono winning.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. We're definitely going to revisit this one next week.
For sure.
But now I think it's time to move on to Anoyo Team versus Defias Brotherhood. Dusharmo, do you want to give us a preview of this match?
Yes.
Your completely unbiased opinions.
Very.
Well, he's not kind of unbiased.
Yeah, well, a little bit. I'm on the Anoyo Team hero, not on the Anoyo Team legacy.
That's why I brought it up.
2 teams that are looking to bounce back from last week. 2 teams that are that both lost their second week. I'm looking at a lot of these matches. I think a mage and Comp both looking to pick up wins, and both equal caliber players in my eyes. So I could see this going either way. Dano and Lemons. Lemons going undefeated last season, and now 0-2 playing against Dano, who gets his revenge. I think last season you played him the first week, so you got the first taste.
And he smoked me, just smoked me too. So that's not going to happen again this time, probably.
Zethund and
more faith in that man.
Zethund and Avogui.
Got beat pretty bad.
Zethund and Avogui there. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Am I good to go?
I'm not sure. Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
All right. Zethund and Avogui. I'm not sure. Avogui, he's 1-1. And Zethund 1-1. Mad at Arms and Nebkanuk. Nebkanuk, a great 4-seed player. And Totino's, I think, is going to continue to roll in the 5-seed. I'm looking at this match for Anoyo Team to slightly win this match. I think it's going to be a close one. I'm going to give it to a mage, Zethund, and Totino's. Dano, I'm sorry. I think Lemons is going to smoke you again.
I think so, probably as well. I think so as well.
And Mad at Arms too. Mad at Arms is sitting in here as well. I think Nebkanuk's going to get Mad at Arms.
So wait, Dano, does that mean I'm the new favorite between the two of us because I actually pick you to beat Lemons?
Yeah, sure, 100%.
Awesome.
Lemons is a great person. I chatted with him for like 45 minutes after our match, so I was super happy they kept on winning. Yeah, my picks: a mage I think wins in the 1, Lemons wins in the 2, Zethund Mad at Arms, Totino's Pizza win in the 3, 4, and 5 because of course it's my team. Lemons brought Shaman this week. I can't beat Lemons when he brings Shaman. Lemons doesn't lose when he brings Shaman. Last season brought Shaman every week, won every week. This season, first 2 weeks didn't bring Shaman, lost first 2 weeks. Brings Shaman, guess what? I'm going to lose.
You are way too superstitious for your own good, buddy.
Nah, he's just great at Shaman. What can I say?
You can say you're going to win anyway.
I could. I do know how to play against Shaman, right? Depends on the Shaman, though. There's a couple different varieties now. Who knows, right?
Lemons has that mojo with Shaman. He last season I played him as well, and he beat me 3-1. And I was playing Quest Hunter, and he was playing Reno Shaman or Highlander Shaman.
He brought a bunch of weirdo shamans last season.
He played that 5-mana card that summons a legendary that changes. I forgot the name of the card. I don't even play it that much.
Bandersmash.
Bandersmash, yeah.
Yeah, he got the Hyreek the Bat on turn 6 and filled the board with 7 5/5s. And I was like, this was my last game, and I lost. So he has the Shaman mojo.
So fun fact, I did that in a ladder game once, except I didn't do it through Bandersmash. I evolved a 7-cost Flesh Shaper into the bat, double battle cried it back with Bog Slosher, and then replayed it. Opponent conceded the turn after. He was salty.
It's called winning. That's the best
I
kind
know.
of hard fun right there.
Oh, it was amazing. If you had told me I was gonna win that way, I would have said you're crazy.
I like it. That's awesome.
It was
But
sussy.
I think let's move on to the Stubbs versus Amber Flight Gaming, and I'm gonna chat about this one. And this is two teams looking to get right. So the Stubbs with like a really great start of the season, and then just a rough second week. Then Amber Flight, I think, kind of, surprising people and really struggling the first 2 weeks. 16 points out of the first 2 weeks. It's hard, especially when you have a one seed like Itachi, right? But so I know we put a lot of pressure on him, but like he kind of lives up to it a lot, right? So this one's really interesting. I think Rom Mexico, if you had told me that Rom Mexico started 0-2, I would have said you're crazy, but here we are. Rom Mexico's 0-2. Playing Dragon Rider this week and not Itachi. Itachi subbing out, Dragon Rider subbing in. Dragon Rider is a perfectly capable one seed. She's fantastic. I think just
she's looking to get revenge from last season.
Yeah, just one season of THL, I think. So a lower PR than you would actually for the caliber player she is. So this one's actually going to be on stream on Salty Saturday with me and Donde at 9 Eastern. Check it out. It's going to be fantastic. You're going to want to watch this match.
You better watch it.
Big Ted is just like hot, and he's playing so well. He's like, you know what? I'm going to bring Paladin, and I'm going to continue to win. So congratulations there, Ted. Oz in the 3 is not going to keep on losing, I don't think. I don't know Christine, but I don't expect Oz to go 0-3 in the 3 seed. They're just too good for that. So I
one
think
of them has to, sadly.
Yes, right. I think Osmonot's going to pick up the first win of the season. I think we should just look on and on appreciation that the classes of like all the 4 and the 5 seed brought, like just like all 8 of them are just bonkers off the wall, right? So we have Demon Hunter, Priest, Rogue, Warlock versus Demon Hunter, Paladin, Shaman, Warlock, which has been played. Congratulations, Bitbeaker. And then we got Demon Hunter, Hunter, Mage, Paladin versus Demon Hunter, Druid, Hunter, Warlock. I don't know. Like, sure, why not? I think it's
like,
awesome.
What's going on right now? Are we in a Twilight Zone?
It's like peak 4 and 5 seed play. I'm very excited for those classes. Like, kudos to all 4 players there for just bringing that. There's some spice to like a kind of a solved meta, to be honest. So it's very excited. So sorry I went long here. I got the Stubbs winning 4-1 though. Rom Mexico, Big Ted, Osmonot, and Quaz. Anybody else with anything, or should we move on?
Yeah, I have Ron winning the 1, Neji Boston winning the 2, Oz winning the 3, Bitbeaker, of course, already won the 4, and Quaz winning the 5. So I have the Stubbs taking it 3-2. I will just say, though, as much as I am excited to see Dragon Rider play, I think she's awesome. I played with her in Legacy last season, and she was wonderful. Can we all just agree that it would also be amazing if we could see Ron Mexico play against Itachi? How awesome would that have been?
Well, have them both be 0-2, right? Because Ron and Itachi play. But like Ron and Itachi both play being winless. I need that on stream.
Well, them both being winless, and them both being on the same championship team from last season.
That's fantastic, right?
That's like a recipe for something amazing. I don't know what to tell you.
But
I would love to see. I would love to see Dragon Rider get revenge on Ron after he swept her last season. So let's do it.
I get a cast it. I'm super excited for it, to be honest.
Oh, you should be excited. It's gonna be wonderful.
Let's move on to the Red Conference where the good teams live.
Oh,
no offense, Gold. I'm in the Gold Conference.
I was gonna say you're in the Gold Conference. Right. You're throwing shade on yourself.
My projection, real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
For just Stubbs and Amberflight. I got Ron Mexico, Neji Boston, Christine. I think picks up his or her first win, and Quaz picks up his win. So.
Yeah, that Paladin is pretty awesome. That Paladin band there, Buse. I agree. I saw it. Kura Finway with the Paladin band didn't maybe work out for it too well, but I love it. It's like, you know what? I'm not playing against Paladin. I don't know what it is. I don't want to deal with it.
So Red Conference, right? If we're not mistaken.
Red Conference. Let's do this. Where am I in my notes? Oh, all right, JR, you got this one?
I do. Chaos Theory versus F2L Red. So I feel like this is another. As I put it, a clash among titans. Chaos Theory is coming off of an unfortunate loss from last week. But, I mean, nobody's going to deny they're a really strong team. And even though Liquid Ox did take the first win, I feel pretty, like, optimistic about Chaos Theory doing well here. I will say this. I think if Icon and Shiny Pants start picking up wins, they're going to be a very scary team to deal with, considering where Liquid Ox and me, myself, and I are doing right now. However, when I'm looking at their opponents this week, I don't feel so optimistic that this is going to be the week they turn it around. You know, they could. But Mike Lowe's a very good 4 seed, and F. Srirachi is 2-0 and a strong 3 seed. So it's doable, but I think they've still got a very uphill battle this weekend. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah,
So I have, to break it down, I actually have Hockey Boys beating MMI, just because as good as MMI is, Hockey has proven time and time again to be one of the most seasoned and consistent players I've seen. It still kind of amazes me that he's had at one point like under 400 PR, and here he is in the 1 seed with over 550. F. Srirachi winning the 3, Mike Lowe winning the 4, and Lerper winning the 5, giving Chaos Theory the win 3-2.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that a whole bunch. I've got Hockey in the 1. Hockey is a fantastic 1 seed and is a cheater 4 seed in Hero. I'll say it. No, not cheater at all. Just steal out of 4.
Yeah, we said that about
Liquid Ox,
Dusharmo once, remember?
Yeah, well, same. Liquid Ox is crazy in the 2, beating Isocles. Isocles is a heck of a player, but like losing to Liquid Ox, I mean, that's just going to happen sometimes. F. Srirachi, I have in the 3, Mike Lowe in the 4, and Lerpepper in the 5. I can never say that name. Lerper? Leper?
I think it's Lerper.
Lerper, thank you. With Chaos Theory going 3-2.
I think mine's very. I think I'm going to give it MMI the 1, and obviously Liquid Ox in the 2. I think Icon picks it up this week. I think he wins his first match, so I'm going to give Icon the win there. And Mike Lowe and Barcode are going to take the 5 for the Chaos Theory. So I'm going to go F2L Red 3-2.
I like it, and Icon definitely better than a 278 PR. So I expect those wins to start coming here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Just a rough start. It happens.
All right.
Yep. Oh, for sure. And then we've got the Good Luck Albatrosses versus Illy Dilly's Death Knight. So
and, I have updated it. It needs to be updated one more time though. It's got to say 8-0 because Dusharmo is going to beat JR 3-0.
If you sweep me, I'm never speaking to you again. For the record.
I'm kidding.
I'm kidding, but I'm not.
It's 4-0. Good Luck Albatross.
So it's me, Mike V, with the win over Siege, so the sweep over Siege, right?
Yes.
So these are 2 bonkers good teams who are going to continue to be awesome. But the only thing that matters, and no offense to Shu or Jerry or NHL fan or NZ or Lotus or Catman, who are all fantastic and all deserve to be spoken about, this is Dusharmo and JRJuggerLaw, and that's all that matters. and everything else is just window dressing to this how can I put this grudge match, this no, I don't know, I just think it's like
We've never
for
even
all the
played each other
marbles for
before.
next week, right? I know. It's just like it's so much fun to when you get to play somebody on the show with you, because
This was not even planned at all. We just like kind of realized, oh, I'm gonna be a guest this week, and that turned into a permanent placing. And we were like, oh yeah, we're playing each other this week. We're gonna hype that shit up. We're gonna hype that up. And it was very much like, oh great,
Yep.
like, but this was not what I expected.
Yeah, and
in terms of the trash talking.
If you expect, I don't even know how we'll just pick it, because these are all really, really good players, like in their seeds. I think it's gonna be super close, to be honest. I think the sweep that started off is a real big deal for Good Luck Albatrosses, though. So
Yeah, and I think I got to shout out. It's Mike V. I think he's a very underrated player on my team. I think if people were to rank my team, they would rank him probably the lowest out of all the seeds. I think he is very, 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 very underrated and very good and showing it because he's 3-0. And I feel like my team's really strong. Lotus Knight's 0-2, and we're still, got 35 points. So
yeah, and Lotus Knight is not going to continue to lose. So Catman this week,
Well, he will after this. He will. He won't. But this week he is going to lose. Just saying that. I'm not. I don't care what Catman has to do. What I have to do for him. That man is winning this week. Both he and Jerry are staying undefeated as long as I can do something about that.
I like it. I like it.
But I'll be honest, yeah, the Mike Siege match was the match I thought was most likely going to go in their favor anyway. So I still feel pretty optimistic about us.
Yeah, and Pond in chat, Catman is trying to get his 550. Catman's going to get that 550 this season.
Oh, he's
100%.
getting there.
Whether it's this week or next week.
I told people it was insane that last season he was a 2 seed for that team. Like, that's just insane to me. So when I saw that he was a free agent, I was like, ooh, I'm picking this guy up. And, well, now this is just funny right here for several reasons. Catman's playing his old team. I'm playing against Dusharmo. I'm playing against my buddy Mike's team. It's just like, this is going to be quite a week. We're going to see what happens.
A lot of history here.
Shu in the chat, just letting everyone know who's going to win the 5 seed, and Shu is pretty sure it's going to be Shu. So,
well, JR, Shu, and I were all on a team at one point. So we
were on the Wet Boys.
Yep,
lots of fun
with Switters and Blue Sombrero.
That's fantastic.
And that was back in the 4 seed, my 4 seed days.
Yeah, I remember we were talking on stream about how disgusting it was that you were the 4. That was accurate.
All right, cool. Let's talk about Dirty Mike and the Boys versus Beast Mode. Dusharmo, you're up.
All right. Well, we do have one result in. It's already. Actually,
it's for me at least.
We have 2 results in. Surlos picking up a win over Bill Snyder. A 3-0 Surlos win over Bill Snyder.
Wow.
Oh my god.
So Dirty Mike and the Boys are up 8-2. And that
Wait, what was the other one that was played?
The first one, Fuel and obviously
Fuel over obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, Fuel and obviously Fuel picking up the win there as well. So Dirty Mike and the Boys up 8-2. Looking to still be undefeated. Not perfect, but undefeated. And I think with those 2 wins, I think that solidifies Dirty Mike and the Boys here. I think Dirty Mike and the Boys are gonna pick up the win. I think they're gonna pick up the win big too. I think Tony Montana and Lefty are gonna win, and obviously Astrostalk Vegas. I think it's gonna be a 5-0 sweep. I'm sorry, Diamond. Love you, but I think it's gonna be a 5-0 sweep. Dirty Mike and the Boys with those 2 wins. If I was gonna say anybody was gonna win, it would have been obviously in Bill Snyder. If those 2 results were not here, I would have said 3-2 Dirty Mike and the Boys, bottom 3. But since the 2 opposite happened, what I thought was going to happen originally, I'm going to go 5-0 Dirty Mike and the Boys.
I'm going to say 4-1 Dirty Mike and the Boys. I think Astro Frog going to struggle against 8-Bit, but I think Fuel and Surlos, I think Tony Montana and Lefty, I think they take care of business in the 3 and the 4 though for sure.
I do think Dirty Mike and the Boys is going to win it all, but I think the win that's going to solidify it will be Tony and or Astrofrog. I think Copper is going to beat Lefty here. And I say that as somebody who loves Lefty. He's a great player, but I feel like Copper Talon is like coming into his own, really, even in the 4 seed. You know, he used to be a 5. I think he's. I think this is one where I don't know what it is. I shouldn't be saying that because he did not bring Demon Hunter, but.
Or Warrior,
yeah, but we'll see. We shall see.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with it. All right, Dad Legend versus Redacted. What do you got for us, JR?
Hold on, before we go, we got
did you not give your?
No, I did, but we have a breaking news for the Dad Legend and Redacted. The series is all tied up. Pasca picks up a win over Turd Hunter, 3-1.
Whoa. Nice. And then wait, what was the other match that was played?
Honest Zabe and No Glocko. Well, if you look at, you can look at my my screen on Discord.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. My bad. I forgot. I'm looking in the wrong places. Okay, so yeah, Zabe won 3-1. Okay, so now they're tied up 5-5.
5-5, yes. Let me get that up there because I
5-5.
I got
no idea, Diamond.
Go ahead. It's JR, right?
Yep, JR.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm like forgetting. So I'll be honest. I've made a note that in this is my opinion going to be the hardest match to call, and not simply because I don't want to predict Dad Legend to win. Yellow Dart, you've done so much to me. This is what you get. I get it. He knows I love the man. No, but I think this one is actually really hard to call because even though I think in theory, Dad Legend is pretty favored, given the way that things went for both of these teams the last 2 weeks, I really think it's anybody's guess. So I think both of these teams are like definitely like sleeper hits right now, especially Redacted. I think that if they were to win this week, it would really send a message to everybody like, hey, we can keep up with the best of them. Match-wise, though, to be specific, I did have Zabe winning that one before I saw the result. I think Agent PWE is going to beat Yellow Dart because even though there's a slight PR differential, I think he's got more momentum for him. Myanodon winning, I have him winning in a 3, Yeezus winning in the 4, and I did have Posca winning in the 5 before I got that result. So sorry, Turd. Lawyers can't always stick together, as they say.
I work at a law school. They don't. So yeah, I think my biggest surprise of this is No Glocko going 0-3 to start the season. No Glocko's a dynamite player. But I kind of think that they were No Glocko's kind of run into kind of a buzzsaw to start the season here, and things will get better. So moving forward,
there's also no shame in losing to Zabe. Like
no, there's zero shame because Zabe is fantastic, and yeah. So for me, I got Yellow Dart and Myanodon winning, and then probably Durden in the 4. So 4-1 for Dad Legend over Redacted. Sorry, Redacted.
I'm unfortunately, no, you know what? I'm gonna go Agent PWE over Yellow Dart, and then Myanodon Durden pick up the win. So 3-2, Dad Legend.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. Hey, this is stuff I'm going to talk about. All right, Pod People versus the Hearthstone Academy. So, we talked about it earlier. Mako, fantastic. Just kind of outclassed in this one in the 1 city against Ridiculous Hat. Now, Hearthstone going to Hearthstone sometimes, and sometimes Pavel's going to sweep your Druid, right? So anything can happen. I just don't think that this week it's going to happen in the 1 seed, and Ridiculous Hat takes care of business. I also think this is going to be a get-right match for Zeroshio, with both Zeroshio and Base Inc. looking for their first win of the season. 2 fantastic players.
Yeah.
I think the big difference here is Zeroshio with the Paladin bring. Zeroshio and Paladin are like chocolate and peanut butter. I think Zeroshio's going to win just because Zeroshio's like, you know what? I haven't brought Paladin 2 weeks in a row. I've lost. Time to bring Paladin in and win again. And then Starlax versus Booze is my Red Sox versus Yankees. I don't know why. I'm just like super excited about this one. I'm just like bonkers excited about it. And I don't care that nobody else is excited as I am. So
I'm very excited for that.
Makes me sad. I'm going to ask them both if I can just like spectate, like by myself in the dark, and comment to myself as well, and like just talk about it to myself, with everybody else in bed, and it won't be weird or creepy at all. And then
more suspicious.
Not one bit. And then in the 4 seed, it's 2 priests, 1 priest gonna come out alive. That's me Wicked Good because Wicked Good always wins the priest. And then Sage skipping DH, which isn't optimal, but it's not crazy because of kind of the weird spot Demon Hunter is in. But it's kind of like a ban target, which kind of works well with Warrior. So it's strange, right? I feel like they play so well together because of the way that they kind of compete. So it's almost like you have to bring both this season, which is a strange place to be, I feel like. I will just say with that, I honestly, in some respect, would feel better about not bringing Demon Hunter compared to not bringing Warrior, because if Warrior gets the ban, I'm less worried about like playing that poorly and having that get a win. Whereas I feel like if I just bring Demon Hunter and I'm just setting it up to be banned, well, hey, they just took away a really powerful deck that I feel has pretty strong matches across the board. Yeah, it's those two are. It's a really interesting meta, I think, for tournament, at least for the THL meta, because I think those two, they're kind of, it's very weird, right? But I still think Sage finds the first win of the season, despite the not bringing the Demon Hunter bring. So I've got Hat, Zeroshio, Starlax, Wicked Good, and Sage. So Pod People 4-1.
Yeah, I think our Hat takes the Battle of the Boards. That should be streamed. I think
It should be
Zeroshio does pick up his first win after bringing Paladin. I know I would say Basting has a stronger lineup, but Zeroshio is a Paladin expert. He loves Paladin. He's been playing Paladin since the game was around. I'm picking Zeroshio here. I think Starlax rebounds. Booze gets his first loss. I'm gonna give it to Ghost and Sage in the 4 and the 5. So that'll be a 3-2 Pod People over Hearthstone Academy.
And I'm literally predicting the same thing as Dusharmo.
Great. That's easy. So do we have players of the week this week, Dusharmo?
Not this week. We're a little bit behind schedule, partly because I waited a little bit to post the voting. But we will post these tomorrow. They will not be done here on stream this week.
Yeah, no problem at all. And so that's it for this week. Just gonna go ahead and talk about what we have coming up this week for stream matches. So we do have some matches on Friday. They're not in our schedule yet, but I think one of them is Ron Mexico. So I think we have Ron Mexico every day of the weekend this weekend, actually, or at least 2 of the 3. But I'm not sure. But Friday is definitely happening with Saku, Brusher, Tuna, and Big Ted casting that. And then Salty Saturday, Donde and I back Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern with Ron Mexico versus Dragon Rider, then Agent PWE versus Yellow Dart. There is going to be high-level Hearthstone played. I am not going to promise high-level Hearthstone casting, but you will learn from the play, so definitely worth watching. And then also, you got a hero match, Turd versus Shunsui, which is just going to be really awesome 5C play with you and Based, right? Or casting that one, JR?
We are, yes, along with Lotus Knight. So catch us for Schoolstone on Saturday.
And then Sunday, we got a pro match at 5 p.m. Eastern, Ron again with Jimmy Eat Shoes, and that's going to be really fun. So make sure you catch all the streams this weekend. And thank you so much for joining us. Anything to add, guys?
Yeah, just real quickly. I'm just going to do it now. We are going to be looking for a guest next week. We do not have a guest lined up. So if you are interested in being a guest on Tavern Talk, please send myself or Dano a message. And we appreciate your time. We start at we technically supposed to start at 7 Eastern. So that'll be our starting time. That's hopefully our starting time next week.
Yes. Thank you all very much.
We will be ready to start on time.
Awesome. Okay, goodbye, everybody.
I gotta go prep to kick Dusharmo's butt, so later.